Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, March 31st, 2017. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Advocating the need to have a nationalistic approach on matters pertaining to development, leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, or the NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, is expressing concern that several basic services in the country have been neglected. Dr. Friday, who was speaking at an NDP town hall meeting at the Langley Park Primary School last evening, claimed that this negligence by the ruling Unity Labour Party, or the ULP administration, is a disservice to Vincentians.
At times when the situation becomes so serious that we have to forget partisan divisions. We have to say country above party. I believe that we are at such a time in our country now. If you look around, you see that not a single thing that used to work works anymore. I mean, every basic service that used to be provided by government, now it's gone. If you want a clearest example, you just look at the state of our roads. We were driving out here on the main road, coming to Mr. Cummings, and he just took his eye off the pothole for a few seconds and nearly mashed up the car. And this is the main road. You go off the side roads where you know it better than me, but driving around, I see the conditions. These are not roads, they're not potholes anymore. Some of them are craters.
Dr. Friday pointed out that many flagship projects that the ULP government has built are not functioning to their fullest capacity.
You have up here, right in this community, you have the diagnostic center been building. How long have they been building that? I think the pyramids of Egypt were completed long before those things were. And the fact of the matter is it's not functioning. Again, you put an object, something here, you're telling people this is going to benefit them, and you have provided absolutely no service, no employment, nothing. You have a great big police station down here. I was down here the other day. It has some problems, physically. You can see water, it's leaking all over the place. And there was a fire here recently, a couple of days ago. What happened to the fire truck? Again, big pretty building, no fire truck. Where is the service to the people?
The local tax system is very important to the growth and development of the Vincentian economy. That's the view of Deputy Comptroller of the Inland Revenue Department, Martina Primus, as many Vincentians took the opportunity to meet the deadline to file their personal income tax returns today. Primus encouraged the public to be compliant as this contributes to the growth and development of the Vincentian economy.
One of the things we have been saying at Inland Revenue over the years is that taxation is important to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a blessed country, but we are blessed in different ways, and we are not blessed and endowed with a lot of the natural resources, the oils and the minerals and the golds that some of even our neighboring countries may have, Guyana and Trinidad and the like. And so our tax system is very important to the growth of our economy, and so we are calling on all our brothers and sisters. We are all part of this. We are all Vincentians, and we need to ensure that we contribute to our economy by ensuring that we keep proper records, we file our returns on time, and we file true and accurate returns, and that where there are taxes due and payable, you do that, and you do that on time. St. Vincent and the Grenadines needs you to cooperate and to comply with our tax laws.
Primus added that this year marks the end of the use of a manual filing of taxes, which would be replaced by the e-filing system, which is expected to bring benefits to the public.
And as usual, we know what us Vincentians are like. We tend to get things together at the last minute or close to the 11th hour. And so over the last 2 weeks, and particularly during this week, there has been a steady flow of taxpayers coming into the department to complete their income tax returns. One of the things we would have been emphasizing during this month is that the e-filing process, which we embarked on, this is our third year. This, we are saying, is our final year for the manual returns. And so we have had a tremendous response from our taxpayers. A lot of persons have come in to get themselves registered. So come next year, persons can sit in the comfort of their homes at any time which they choose, and to complete their returns and to submit them on time. So hopefully next year we would not be seeing the last week of March the influx of persons at the office as we would have seen over the last 2 weeks.
The Deputy Comptroller noted that today was the deadline for the filing of tax returns and highlighted the fines and penalties persons can incur if they missed today's deadline.
A lot of persons have bought into the idea that we need to modernize all aspects of our tax operations, and the response has been really positive and really encouraging. And so we want to remind persons, if you have not filed your returns today, you have missed the deadline. And as you may know, and I should remind you that there are penalties for filing your income tax returns late, and that penalty is $20 for the first breach and $20 for each month that the return remains outstanding. So come April, if you haven't filed your return, we would be imposing the penalties for the late filers.
Director of the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, or the NTRC, Apollo Knights, is of the opinion that mobile service providers here are not doing enough to assist the development of a local mobile application ecosystem. Speaking at the launch of the consumer mobile app Vinci Prices on Thursday, Knights said more needs to be done to bring local persons on board with apps which are beneficial to SVG's development and eventually tapping into the regional market.
They mostly been making the money from voice calls, and as you know, recently people are using other apps to make the voice calls. There's a more better value for them, but it seems to be still want to hang on to this voice revenue. I think they can maybe do a little more in that area, especially to developing local content. Most of the content we have is still from overseas, where we're still consuming stuff instead of producing. So I'm challenging these service providers to be a little more, spend a little more resources. While they sponsor us a little in the ice cream competition, they can do more, I think, on an ongoing basis in a more sustainable and long-term way.
Giving a brief overview of the current state of the telecommunications market here, Knights raised concerns about the high numbers of consumer complaints about unsatisfactory services, especially as it regards fixed internet. He noted that the NTRC is undertaking all the necessary steps to better the situation.
And persons might think we're not doing anything from the regulatory side, which is not so, but we just can't do things. People have the impression sometimes as a regulator you can just do something like that. We can only work based on the laws that exist. And the laws we have currently were established in 2001. The rules was not as tight as if you had a monopoly market. There were more rules for a competitive market. However, we had some competition coming in initially, but now we are seeing it's going backwards into more a default monopoly. For the last year too, we have been working on the new rules. I mean, we're not on our own. We are part of a regional regulatory system called ECTEL, which is based in St. Lucia. We have 4 other NTRCs like ourselves in St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, and St. Kitts. So over the last 2 years, they had a lot of consultants from the region, and we have developed a new Telecom Act. It's ready. We also have developed about 8 to 9 sets of new regulations to handle a lot of these issues, and hopefully we can get these in place this year.
Pointing out that the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, or ECTEL, would soon meet with and update consumers in SVG on the incoming regulations, Knights assured the public that the NTRC still has the power to handle certain complaints.
Internet is not as fast as it should be. We can handle that. It just means that we can't do it on our own. You have to file a complaint with us. The forms are with all the service providers, but we have decided to make it a little bit more easier. So if you don't want to go there and the lines are long, you can come to our office. Office upstairs, the NS building. It's on the 3rd floor. You can come there. Our staff will sit with you, fill out the form, and you sign it, and we'll take it into them. And then from there, it goes through a process through our regulatory framework, and we can have them addressed. So we urge you to do that. And same with your service. If your internet is out for long periods, and you think you're not being compensated fairly for that outage, you can file a complaint on that in the same form. So I urge you to do that, but without you complaining, we can't do anything. So complain on the radio and on Facebook, that can't do anything. You have to invoke that process under those regulations we have for that process to make that power available to you.
And Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, Anthony Regisford, who also spoke at Thursday's launching ceremony of the mobile consumer app, stressed the usefulness of technology in dealing with issues on the ground here in SVG. Pointing out the need for public transportation in this country to be regulated, Regisford noted that with such legislation in place, a mobile application can be developed to efficiently benefit consumers. He further advised the young developers to use their creativity to develop apps which can go on to benefit not only businesses but all sectors in the Vincentian society.
Standing on the road with my smartphone, and I can see when the next van is coming. I can also know where it's going to. You know, just as an idea, right? These are useful things, taking us truly into the 21st century. I should be able to, after I come off of that van, I should be able to use the same app and rate my journey. Government must play their part and I really think they must, in regulating the way the vans operate on the road. I think it's high time, right? But that too will lay the basis for people like yourselves. Come to the chamber if you think you need help for apps that may be related to business solutions, in which case we may be able to marry you with a particular business that may pay you for that development.
The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is said to be in the final stages of operationalizing a $6.7 million grant from the 11th European Development Fund B-Envelope program. The grant shall be managed by the World Bank through the ongoing Regional Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project. The agreements between the EU and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as the World Bank, were signed on May 6th and September 13th, 2016, respectively. Interventions under this new funding stream shall include the repairs to the Chateaubriand Jetty and the rehabilitation of bridges and roads at Grand Sable or Congo Valley, Longline, Fairburn, and Ferguson Mountain. According to the Agency for Public Information, the works at Fairburn and Ferguson Mountain are scheduled to commence by the fourth quarter of 2017. For the Chateaubriand Jetty, proposals from shortlisted design and construction supervision firms are in May, with construction scheduled for the third quarter of 2018. The design and construction supervision services proposals from firms are currently being evaluated for the works at Grand Sable and Longline roads. Construction is estimated to begin in the third quarter of 2018. Meanwhile, the government has completed the rehabilitation of the Learning Resource Center in Ashton, Union Island. The works, which included the installation of hurricane shutters, upgrades to the restrooms, and external drainage, commenced on May 30th last year and ended on December 16th last year as well. The building now meets the emergency shelter standards of the National Emergency Management Organization, or NEMO. MAC Construction, Inc. executed the construction at a cost of some $400,000 EC dollars. The works form part of the government's priority investments to reduce the country's physical and economic vulnerability to adverse natural events through building resilience to current and future climatic changes. Designed to showcase Vincentian gospel expressions in music, song, dance, and drama, the Victoria Park will come alive this Sunday, April 2nd, from 6 p.m. with the opening of the 2017 SVG Gospel Festival. Celebrating 15 years since the inception of the festival, Vincentians can expect to experience anointing and powerful performances from local and guest artists as the SVG Gospel Fest committee prepares to showcase outstanding and upcoming Vincentian gospel talents from all across the island throughout the month of April. The festival is being held in collaboration with the Minister of Culture, officially opens the 2017 SVG Gospel Festival. Nikita Tony tells us more about Sunday's event in this report.
Under the theme 15 Years of Glorious Celebration of the Gospel, Vincentians will this Sunday, April 2nd, witness the opening of the 15th edition of this nation's premier gospel event, the 2017 Digital SVG Gospel Festival. highlighting that the festival, since its inception in 2003, has aimed primarily to provide a platform for Vincentian gospel artists to express themselves beyond their churches and communities. Coordinator of the festival within the Department of Culture, Michael Peters, credited the festival for starting the careers of some of this country's biggest gospel names, outlining that the festival over the years has encountered challenges, mainly in regards of bringing the religious community together. Peters noted that despite these factors, the event has grown significantly with great expectations still ahead.
Gospel Fest, we say, whether you could sing, you could write, you could dance, you could perform poetry, skits, monologue. This is a platform for you to showcase that. So we provide that a particular opportunity. People have responded well, people like Kevin Rodriguez, made his name through participation in Gospel Fest. There's a lot more local gospel music to be played on the radio stations now. And we attribute that to the fact that Gospel Fest has provided the exposure for a number of these artists to share their talents.
The coordinator noted that persons can expect a spectacle at this Sunday's opening event as the committee presents a 100% Vincentian showcase.
The artists on the show are Vincentians. Even the two artists who are coming in, Charlene Samuel of Trinidad, she took part in the very first festival, so she's a graduate of Gospel Fest. She's now a gospel artist in her own right. Minister K. Marta has Vincentian roots and parentage, and she's now, an international gospel singer.
Highlighting the festival's new additions, Peters further urged the Vincentian public to go out and support not just the opening event, but the entire month of activities.
For a long time, the drummers have just been playing drums and being in the background. We want to bring them to the forefront, and we call it drum praise. A lot of people write songs, but they keep them to themselves. We're saying, look, come with your new song, sing a new song. We don't want you to keep singing these songs they hear on the radio or overseas songs. So we have this Sing a New Song competition Friday, April 20th at the Hope for Life Restoration Ministries. We celebrate Vincentian Gospel Expressions. It's a celebration of praise. So Sunday, April 2nd, Victoria Park. Bring the whole family. You don't have to leave the kids home. They come in free.
Among the highlights of the 15th anniversary celebrations will be a glorious celebration of dance on April 7th, a glorious celebration of praise on April 9th, and the Sing a New Song competition on April 28th. The 2017 festival will then culminate with the National Gospel Showcase on Sunday, April 30th, featuring two of the region's biggest gospel acts, The Furnace and Nisha Adams. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
And tomorrow night, 10 finalists will hit the stage at Victoria Park, but only one will become SVG's representative in the Platinum Search International competition. After weeks of selection and elimination of contestants throughout the country, the finals will kick off from 7 p.m. tomorrow. CEO Kenneth Gladstone, who is the producer of the competition, assured patrons that not only will they be entertained, but they will also be supporting some of the best performers in the gospel arena.
What you have been seeing on television is just an expression of what they can do, but the ultimate presentation is their original song, which will blow your mind. I am producing them personally, and I'm telling you, you would never believe that people are so talented here in St. Vincent. Absolutely crazy. So that is the night when you're going to see the best of all top 10 delegates, and one will be selected to represent St. Vincent across the Caribbean and the world. So this is huge for St. Vincent, and of course we expect everybody to be out there. Please get your tickets at Haddon Hotel. You can also get your ticket at Aeropost, and all delegates will also have tickets if you catch them any place around St. Vincent. All right, so thank you so much for having us, and we look forward to seeing you. You and mama, papa, sister, brother, friend. And remember, children are free. 12 and down, all children free. So bring everybody out of the house, man. Come fill up the place and have fun. All right.
Director of the local leg of the event, Felix Dalpin Findlay, also endorsed the importance of supporting local talent and advised the finalists to produce music that could go global.
Young people, and I will encourage them, they take the song to the radio station or a radio announcer and said, look, I want this play. Sometimes they turn them away. And the reason for that, if somebody has good potential and thinking ahead, not just be singing a song from St. Vincent to Beckwith, you have to sing globally, that it can reach out. I would probably say over 25 of my CDs that whether they were single or whole, 6, 7, 8 songs, I try to write my songs so I can go as far and perform. I have never sung a song that would be just for St. Vincent or for the BVI, where I've been for over 38 years.
The 2017 Lions Kingstown SVG I Care Project will run from June 4th to 9th in association with the Ministry of Health and a visiting team of volunteers from the USA Mobile Medical Eye Care Mission, which includes ophthalmologists, optometrists, and trained assistants. Eye testing and distribution of eyeglasses will be done at the medical facility of the National Sports Council at Arnesvale from Monday, June 5th to Friday, June 9th from 8 a.m. daily. Registration takes place at the Lions Building at French's Gate in Kingstown from Monday, April 10th to Wednesday the 12th from 9:30 a.m. to noon each day. A team of eye surgeons will be based from June 4th to the 9th at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, where they will conduct surgeries including laser surgery and consultations. Only patients on the hospital list and those referred by the ophthalmologist will be seen by the doctors at the hospital. This year marks 42 years of free eye care services to St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the USA Mobile Medical Team, and the project will again be sponsored by Beacon Insurance Company.